Sadako and 1,000 paper cranes, Chapter 4 and a secret no longer. For several weeks it seemed that the prayers and good luck symbols had done their work well. Sadako felt strong and healthy as she ran longer and faster. But all that ended one crisp, cool winter day in February. Sadako was running in the schoolyard. Suddenly, everything seemed to wheel around her, and she sank to the ground. One of the teachers rushed over to help. I guess I'm just tired, Sadako said, in a weak voice. When she tried to stand up, her leg went wobbly, and she fell down again. The teacher sent Misui home to tell Mr. Sasaki. He left his barber shop and took Sadako to the Red Cross hospital. As they entered the building, Sadako felt the pain of fear. Part of this hospital was especially for those with the atom bomb sickness.
In 5 minutes, Sadako was in the examination room, where the nurse x-rayed her chest and took some of the blood. Dr. Numata taped her back and asking another question. 3 other doctors coming in to look at Sadako. One day shows his hand and heckled, scratched her head. But now the respect Sadako family was in the hospital. Her parents were in the doctor's office, and Sadako called her murmur of the voice. Also, her mother cried, "Leukemia, but that is impossible." Of at and the sun and the friction word, Sadako pushed her hands over her eyes.
She didn't want to hear anymore. Of course, she didn't have leukemia. Why the atom bomb have even scratched her? Snarf Yusunoda to Sadako to one of the hospital room and give her a sky of cotton kimono to wear. Sadako had just climbed into bed when her family came in.
Mr. Sasaki put her arms around Sadako. "You must stay here for a little while," she said, trying to sound cheerful. "But I come evening and I will visit you after school." Mashiro promised. Mitsu and Angie nodded their eyes with an scary. "Do you really have the atomic bomb disease?" Sadako asked her father.
There was a troubled look in Mr. Sasaki's eyes, but he only said that doctor want to make some tests that are. He paused, then he added, "They may keep you here for a few weeks." A few weeks to Sadako it sounded like years. So, word missed graduation into junior high school, and even worse, she would not be part of the racing team. Sadako slowed her and tried to not cry. Thank you.
Mr. Sasaki fussed over Sadako. She plumped the pillows and smoothed the bedspread. Mr. Sasaki cleared his throat. "Is there anything you want?" he asked. Sadako shook her head. All she really wanted was to go home, but when a cold lump of fear grew in her stomach, she heard that many people who went into the hospital never came out.
Later, Nurse Yasunaga sent the others away so that Sadako could rest. When she was alone, Sadako buried her face in the pillow and cried for a long time. She had never before felt so alone and miserable.
Okay, Chapter 5, The Golden Crane. This morning, Sadako woke up slowly. She listened for a familiar sound of her mother making breakfast, but there were only the new and different sound of a hospital. Sadako sighed. She had hoped that yesterday was just a bad dream. It was even more real when the nurse Wasanaga come in to give her shots.
That afternoon, Shizuko was Sadako's first visitor. She smiled mysteriously as she held something behind her back. Shut your eyes, she said, while Sadako squinted her eyes, twinkling shut. Shizuko put some pieces of paper and scissors on the bed. Now you can look, she said. What is this? Sadako asked, staring at the paper.
Shizuko was pleased with herself. I've figured out a way for you to get well, she said proudly. Watch! She cut a piece of wallpaper into a large square. In a short time, she had folded it over and over into a beautiful crane. Sadako was puzzled, but how can that paper be?
Do you remember that old story, the cream? About the cream? Shizuko asked. I supposed to believe for 1,000 years. If a sick person fold 1,000 paper cream, to good luck will grant her. Wish and make her healthy again. She had handed the cream to Sadako. Her first one. Sadako, her eyes filled with tears. How kind of Shizuko to bring a good luck cream, especially when her friend didn't really believe in such things. Sadako took the golden cream and made a wish. The funniest and little feeling came over her when she touched the bird, and must be a good omen.
Thank you, Shizuko-chan, she whispered. I will never part with it. When she began to work with the papers, Sadako discovered that folding a cream wasn't as easy as it looked. With Sadako's help, she learned how to do the difficult part. After making 10 birds, Sadako lined them up on the table, placed the golden crown somewhere a bit lopsided, but it wasn't begin. Now I have only 919 to make, Sadako said. With the golden crown nearby, she felt safe and lucky. Why? A few weeks she would be able to finish the 1,000. Then she would be strong enough to go home. That evening, Masahiro brought Sadako's homework from school. When he saw the crown, he said, there is enough room on that small table to show off your bird. I will hang off from the ceiling for you. Sadako was smiling all over. Do you promise to hang every crown I made? She asked. Sadako promised.
That's fine, Sadako said, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Then you hand to wall 1,000, her brother groaned. You are joking, Sadako told him the story of the crane. Masahiro ran ahead and threw his straight black hair. You trick me, he said with a grin, but I do it anyhow. He brought some tree and tack from North Yasunaga, and how the first cranes, the golden cranes, stay in his.
After supper, Miss Sasaki brought Mitsui and Eiji to the hospital. Everyone was surprised to see the bird. They reminded Miss Sasaki of a famous old poem. All of colored paper crane, come fly into our house. Mitsui and Eiji liked the golden crane best, but Miss Sasaki chose the tiniest one made of fancy green paper with pink parasol on. This is my choice, she said, because small ones are the most difficult to make. After visiting hour, it was lonely in the hospital room, so lonely that Sadako felt more crying to keep up her courage. 11. I wish I get better. 12. I wish I get better.